So who's the player in the NBA right now that you go, oh, I'm rooting for that guy?
I love John Morant. I love, Ant Edwards. I love that Victor Wembanyama. Love him. I love his spirit. I can't say his name, but I love him.
Do me a favor. He asked you the same question, but can Handyman answer the question for me?
Well, I can answer it if you ask me to.
Stop.
Wait, I gotta turn my hat to the side.
You're going to get us in trouble. Stop.
Yeah, I do it big, big, big. I'm coming to win. I do it big, big, big. Say it again. I do it big, big, big. I'm coming to win. I do it big, big, big. Say it again. I do it big. I do it big, big, big. Say it again. I do it big.
What is up? What is good? How you living? How you feeling? How you doing? It is the Big Podcast with Shaq, where we always do it.
Big.
And this guy is the best. So Shaq, if I may, give him a formal introduction.
Yes, you may, but make sure it's good, because if it's not, he will go clown you.
Okay, I just wrote this in the sauna, so the brain was firing. Okay. A comedy king who changed the whole game, from In Living Color to a household name. Homie don't play that. He set the tone, then whipped recruits into shape as Major Payne and succeeded on his own. The last Boy Scout, my wife and kids, where he goes fans swarm. And success is on him like white on rice and a glass of milk on a paper plate in a snowstorm. A
Hey.
legend, a writer, a star who keeps slaying. In the Shahuka Lounge today, give it up for Damon frickin' Wayans.
Yes, okay.
What? Yeah, I love it. I love it. You got bars.
That was good.
Some of them borrowed, but it's all good.
Oh yeah, well they were yours.
I know,
Bro,
it's all good.
major Payne. Anytime it's on, I'm not changing the channel.
I
Incredible.
agree.
I appreciate that.
Damon, thank you for coming on. You know, we've been buddies for a while, been fans of the family, been supporters of the family for a long time. We asked your brother, who was the
crazy
funniest
one.
sibling.
Which one?
No,
Yeah, the crazy.
Marlins.
The crazy
We asked him. We asked him who was the funniest sibling you have, and we want to see if the answer is the same. So that's my question: who's the funniest sibling you have?
Funniest sibling? It rotates. Like anybody can get hot at any time. So it's like there's no king. It's the crown moves around, and one day Marlon's on, one day Sean's on. But the good news is the crown stays in the family.
I do like that. Who did Marlon say again?
Him.
He said Damon's.
Oh, he said me.
Oh, he said
No.
Damon.
Yes, yeah, he said Damon.
I'm probably the angriest.
So you hear listen, you came on and you mentioned technology. So the internet, the web. I was probably the biggest In Living Color fan. Is it true that because of what you guys did on Super Bowl Sunday, that the NFL created the NFL show on Sunday? Is that true? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there was a halftime show before In Living Color, but it was like marching bands, and it's basically time for people to go to the bathroom. And so I think Sandy Grushaw and Barry Diller and them said, "Hey, why don't we hijack the Super Bowl halftime show?" And so I think it was playing on a different network, but Fox said we're going to put a clock at the bottom and we're going to do it live. And so we had like 30 something million views that we stole from there. And the next year they brought in Michael Jackson, so we couldn't compete with that. But
So that was planned.
it was beautiful. It was beautiful to know that we did that, and it's been they've been protecting that asset since. So, I'm glad we had something to do with that.
I was going to say, so when you watch Kendrick this year, and let's say you're watching the game with your family, what's it like to see what you guys kind of caused?
I never take credit for it. We just happened to be at the right place at the right time, doing the wrong
Mm.
things. I just think it's beautiful when you got Beyonce, you got Kendrick and Dre,
Prince.
Dr. Dre and Prince. It's beautiful to see how it's evolved. What do they do next? That's what's
Mm.
crazy to me.
Speaking of doing the wrong things, all the characters you did on Living Color, which one would definitely get you canceled today? I know
Mm.
one. I know one that'll get you canceled.
I, I, I think they all, I don't believe in cancel culture. I
Me either,
believe
but
I believe that people still want to laugh. And I think at this present time, people really want to laugh, and we need to laugh because we haven't had the sigh of relief. So if you think about the history, right, of sketch comedy, in 1974, Nixon left office and the country was divided. In 1975, Saturday Night Live aired.
Wow.
In 19, I think, 90, it was Bush. And then in Living Color. No, 89, he left. And 90 in Living Color. And then um, Dave Chappelle came after the country was divided. So we haven't had in the past, you know, 8 to 10 years that voice of like,
Mm.
let's all come together and just laugh about how stupid we are. And I think that if we it's all in the presentation, right? And if you present it right, people are gonna laugh. People are gonna laugh. They
Mm.
can't help but laugh because the characters are funny. They're not offensive. If you do it with love, you get the laugh.
and how did you come up with Handyman? Handyman was my favorite character.
Was that the one you were thinking of, Shaq?
Yes, I was thinking Handyman.
Okay.
Handyman was my favorite character ever.
So I was born with a club foot, and I used to hang out. They actually put me in the special ed class because of my foot, and my mother had to come to school and like fight to get me in regular class. She's like, "There's nothing wrong with his brain. He got a bad foot." But I made friends with all the kids in the handicap class, and I was cool with them until my other friends came around. And I was disowned them, but they were my buddies, And so when I did in my stand up, I talked about having my club foot, and I was saying that I wasn't a tough kid. My mouth was what got me in trouble, and I said, I guess you just don't find that many handicapped bullies. And then I proceeded to do handyman on stage. It killed. It was funny,
It
and it
did.
came from an honest place. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying about presentation. If I would just go up on stage and start doing handicapped people, I would get crucified.
Mm. All right, only because I'm seeing it now. Is that Major Payne's hat on the wall behind you right now?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
Man.
Handyman. That's awesome. You guys are crazy.
Bro, that was my favorite
You know what they
character
should
ever.
do? They should do in living color specials.
They
Don't
should.
bring back the
Mm.
show. Bring back specials. Let people just 1 hour. Give us an hour, and we'll prove to you that people really want to see this.
All
Need
right,
to
well,
see
let's
this.
do
Oh,
it.
they do.
Let's do it.
Shaq presents.
No. The Wayans family presents, and if you want me to be a partner, I would definitely love to be involved in that.
Powered by Shaq.
No, the Wayans family, that's their thing. But if you need help,
All right, question about the Wayans family, because when we had Marlon on, Shaq was like, man, family reunions and Thanksgiving must be hilarious. Were there ever times where somebody brought a new significant other and they came into this storm and just got it? Whether it was like a boyfriend or something like that tried to come to the family and bring jokes.
All the time.
Oh,
It happens all the time. It's just you know, my family, it's, you know, it's commando comedy. So if you're gonna come in, you're gonna get initiated into the family, and it's done with comedy. It's not mean, but you know, you walk away going, maybe I shouldn't have told that joke.
That just sounds so intimidating.
It
Yeah,
is.
it's beautiful. It's a lot of laughs. You know, it's my best times are hanging out with my family, and you
Was
know,
there a moment where you remembered someone got it the most?
we all get it. You know, I used to date this woman that used to date my nephew, and I made the mistake of showing up with her on my arm, and they roasted me. You know, it was just, well, I was in love, but you know,
He said I
I,
was in love.
I was in love. But my nephew was in love first, so
That's
I had to let
hilarious.
it.
All right, so we had a lot of success betting NFL with DraftKings, and now we are turning back to the NBA. And All-Star Weekend has come and gone. It's the race to the playoffs, Shaq. Right now, the Dallas Mavericks, to make the playoffs, they're actually favored to miss the playoffs, which is very interesting. So it's minus 170 to not make the playoffs. So if you bet that, let's just bet $100, you would only make $60. If you bet them to make the playoffs at plus 145, you bet 100, you make 145. Do you think the Mavericks are going to make the playoffs?
What spot are they in now? Does play in count?
At recording, they are the 8 seed. What it means is if they make the play-in, they would have to win those games to get into the playoffs to count as a yes.
So if I put $1,000 down, I'm going to win.
And they make it?
Yes.
1,500.
They will make
And
the
if they
playoffs.
don't, they will make the playoffs.
They will
AD
make the
is
playoffs.
injured. There's a lot
He'll
of...
be
and
back. He'll be back.
Kyrie's back is hurt. You have faith in the Mavericks.
No, I don't have faith in Mavericks, but right now they're in 8th. They're not going to slide to 11. At the worst, they'll probably slide to 10, and they can win a playoff game. A lot of people don't
I'm just saying,
understand.
here are the other teams around them. Kings, Warriors, Suns, Spurs are the teams right behind them.
Suns, Spurs.
So right now
Definitely
they'd be
Warriors.
taking on the Kings and then would have to face they'd be taking on the Timberwolves. It's tough.
Yeah, it's tough, but I think they will make the play-in and win the series.
Okay.
Because-
Shaq is saying
because-
Mavericks will make the playoffs.
Because I know AD's missing a lot of games, but he's also getting a lot of rest. So when he comes back, if that abdominal holds up, AD can go off. And then, with everybody doubting him, he likes when people doubt him because it gives him that extra R. So I'm never going to go against AD.
Shaq is betting with the R on DraftKings.
R. Yes, I am. Who's scoring big in the NBA this season? You are, with all the new ways to get in on the action with my partners at DraftKings Sportsbook. From Monster Slams to Dishing the Rock to Cleaning the Glass, get behind your favorite players and the prop bets you can make on DraftKings, the home of the NBA player props. Here's something special for first-timers. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Take it to the rack with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings app now and sign up using code BIGPOD. The crown is yours. Stay in on the action and use your $150 in bonus bets on DraftKings. Same game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. Combine multiple bets together from the same game. Love the thrill of live betting? DraftKings has got you covered. Bet live on in-progress games right as it happens, making watching the game that much more exciting. If sports bet is not yet available in your state, don't worry, you can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy and have the shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use my promo code BIGPOD and bet just $5 on any wager and get $150 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code BIGPOD only at DraftKings Sportsbook. The Big Pod is now sponsored by DoorDash. Dash Pass has a members-only deal for the 24-25 NBA season. They swoosh, you save. When any player scores 50 or more points in a game, Dash Pass members save up to 50% on an order and up to $10 off. Steph, I see you swishing, man. You've been cooking. Now help all your fans cook up something good on DoorDash. Sign up for Dash Pass and save more all year round with $0 delivery fees and reduced service fees on eligible orders. Plus, exclusive peaks like this one. I know we all love that $0 delivery fee. Use the promo code NBA50 the day after the 50 points game during the 24-25 NBA regular season from noon to midnight. That's right, from noon to midnight, you have all day after the game to get in your DoorDash orders. Scoring good and eating good. Valid for Dash Pass members only from noon to midnight the day after any player scores 50 points or more in a single game during the 24-25 regular season. Valid with the use of promo code from noon to midnight the day after 50-point game on eligible orders at participating merchants. Must have an active Dash Pass account. Terms apply. Speaking of family business, which one of your kids is most like you?
My son Michael. My son is he's an angry artist, and he's brilliant, and he's I used to tell him because he was mad at me, and we just started like really getting along, because he stopped asking me for money. But we butt heads, and I said, you don't like me, but you need to love me because I'm you in the future.
Mm.
Get to
That's
know
Say
a
me.
that
bar.
again. Say that again.
I said, you may not like me, but you got to love me because I'm you in the future.
Ugh.
I'm definitely using that. I'm sending
Yeah,
that
that's
out.
a good one.
I'm sending that out to my boys as soon as I get off the podcast.
Yeah, it's hard. Being a parent is wonderful, but it's a thankless job, and it's not until they get older and then they start checking on you. That's the way that, there's nothing my kids can give me except love, and it's like if they, I recently lost my favorite aunt 2 weeks ago, and it's just been,
Sorry.
devastating because it's like losing my mom all over again. And my kids checking on me, and that really, boosts my spirits, and I'm grateful for that because it's hard. Life is hard enough, but it's really hard when you got to do it alone or when you feel like
Sorry for your
you're
loss, man.
isolated. Well, thank you. It's the thing is, if you live a long enough life, you bury a lot of people you love. So that's the reality.
Damon, were you in LA when Shaq was on the Lakers?
Yeah, I got a ring. Shaq gave me a ring, and I didn't have to suit up. Yeah,
Wait.
yeah.
Explain this.
He
Damon is
gave me
my
a
guy, brother.
ring. He gave me. I got a beautiful three-peat ring. I've never worn it. It's that special.
Shaq, what's the story behind this, Shaq?
So I've always told the story about, as a professional athlete, it's our job to entertain. So I can remember going to the game and being like, oh, that's Damon Wayans. Oh, that's Eddie Murphy. Oh, that's Tom Cruise. So I wanted to give them the joy that they gave me when I was at the crib trying to get away from basketball. So I was like, they're here to watch me. I got to perform. I got to play well. I got to show off. I got to win. And Damon was always there. And when I missed free throws, he'd please, like he'd give it to me. Snoop give it to me. Be Real give it to me. So whenever I would win, I would find out where my favorite people lived at, and I would just send them that as a token of my appreciation. Because for me, it's bigger than basketball. Like I always had to get away from basketball. Like you're this good, but they're telling you you're not this good. Now, piss. I want to kill some. So how do I get away from killing? I gotta watch comedy. And Mr. Wayans Jr. and his whole family was at the apex of making me laugh. So I know all his movies. I can probably quote a lot of his movies. His brother's movies. Don't Be a Menace While Drinking Juice in South Central is one of my favorite movies. I love his sister. how she does it. I love how close knit the family is. So I bought a lot of people rings. So I never really got to tell you thank you, but I'm telling you thank you now. And brother, whatever you're doing, the regiment you're taking, you look beautiful, brother. Because
Well,
you just
thank
told
you.
me your age. You just told me your age. I always thought that we were in the same age, but you're a lot older than I. But you're looking good, brother. So whatever you're doing, I don't know if you're juicing, if you're taking some facial creams or something, but you're looking good, brother.
No, it's
You're
yeah, I'll
looking
tell you
good,
what
my
I'm
boy.
doing. I'll tell you what I'm doing. I got diagnosed with diabetes about 10 years ago. And so I started growing fresh vegetables. I only eat my vegetables. I work out, um, lifting heavier weights because that's what the scientists say really help you to con to burn the sugar before you like burn the fat. And I've not neutralized. What do you call it when you? I've gotten control over my diabetes, and I got the Freestyle Libre, so I know what food I can't eat or I shouldn't eat, and I just don't eat them.
Mm,
So it's good living, and I'm not out there whoring.
that's the key right there.
Yep.
That'll knock you down a
That'll
bit.
make you old.
Yeah.
Uh, wait, so Dame, what was the day that you got the ring? Was it like delivered to you? How did it get presented to you?
Things like that are a blur to me. I think it was delivered to the set on My Wife and Kids. Shaq had came on and did a really funny episode with Gary Coleman.
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
remember that,
Oh,
Shaq?
yeah. I do remember that.
The
Make
Shaq
sure you add
came
that in the episode, Shane.
in.
You want daddy to dance like them big butt girls in the video? Please, stop crying. Look, I'm smiling like your mama.
Shaq came in with like fake teeth and a wooden leg. He had all these props. What are you doing, man? And he was just so funny.
You remember
It,
that?
yeah, it was so funny. It was just so much fun. Yeah, I tell you, so watching, like, I am older than you. So to see you when you come in, just be like this big kid, who happens to be 7'2", it's a weird thing, you know what I mean? Because you just expect a big like guy like this just to be mean, but he's just so sweet, so fun, so down to play, and it's just it was a joy really to work with him, a pure joy. Everybody loved it. Somebody stole my shoe you gave me too. He signed his
Oh,
shoe.
they
It was,
did? That's crazy.
yeah, it's all good. But it was fun.
Yeah, I remember those days. So on your new TV show, Papa's House, you work with your son, Damon Jr. How
Hmm.
close are those characters to real life relationships? And did you make him work for it before you said, you know what, now it's time for us to work together? Because he's really good. He's really good.
Well, thank you. I'm very proud of him. He actually made me work to get him to do the show because I had an idea to do the show 10 years ago. Just different, slightly different, but him, father and son. And he's like, nah, I'm not ready. I actually wrote a sketch, I mean, a script, and I sent it to him. And he was like, yeah. And then he talked to his people, and they was like, yeah, oh, Pops, it's not a good time. I was like, what? He said, my people. I'm like, I'm your people. You started in my sack. What are you talking about, your people? But he wanted to do it on his own, and I,
Good.
I had to respect that. I'm like, all right, go ahead. And, he built his little resume, and to the point where, I kind of sat back and just let him go because it was, when I was out there trying to keep my career going, and he was trying to get his career going, it was hard because I would actually, he would go into meetings and they thought he was me.
Wow.
And he was like, yo, this is awkward. So I kind of just sat back. I just let him get his thing in. And then I was like, all right, I'm ready to go back to work. And he just like, it's not the time. So when, this came along, I actually went out and sold the show without him first to like, I had a bidding war for it. And then I was like, look, they want this. It's this is low hanging fruit. Come on and do this. He was like, yeah, okay. And the funny thing is, this is how God worked. The day that I asked him to do the show, his show, he had a show on TBS. They canceled it. He was supposed to fly out the next week to do this show, and that's why I called him, because I knew his show got canceled.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah,
That's
it's
unbelievable.
yeah.
One thing that you said earlier, because I never took you as somebody that had anger, like just it's always joy. And being around Shaq, I've noticed sometimes that he can use anger as a really powerful fuel. And I was curious whether it's art, comedy, and sports with Shaq. When you get control over it, how does it give you maybe an advantage over other people that don't have that naturally?
Well, I look at anger as the pilot light in my life. It can't be the flame because it'll consume you. But if you use it and know how to access it, turn it on, all it is passion. And if you let it get out of control, it becomes something, it can be violent, it can be, self-destructive. But if you learn to control that pilot light, then ain't too many people can beat you.
And how's your house in LA? You didn't get caught, and you didn't get caught those fires, did you?
Nah, I'm
Good.
very grateful. We were talking about we had to, maybe evacuate. The fires was crazy because you sit back and afterwards you go, I'm not ready. Like, the go back, because you could just walk away, right? But then you think about, oh man, what happens to my vinyl records? What happens to my pictures? That Major Pain hat. I could probably buy another one, but it ain't gonna be the same. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's like those are the things that you lose that you just go, wow. Because I could start over, but I don't want to.
Yeah, I agree.
We had a question from ZipRecruiter, smartest way to hire. They would like to know who has been the ultimate teammate in helping you maintain such a long and phenomenal career.
My family. It's not just one person. My family have different, Keenan's the brains, Kim's the heart, Mullen's the fool. No, we all serve a purpose, and Mullen's actually very smart, and Mullen has a lot of heart and will challenge anybody. You know what I mean? It's like if he thinks you're doing something wrong, he gonna tell you. And it's that when you have that kind of squad around you, it's hard to really mess up because you don't want to be the joke in the Wayne's house.
I would love to be the joke at the Wayans house because I have a great sense of humor. So whenever
Yeah,
you want to
you
invite
do.
me for a family dinner, you just please let me know.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna take you up on it.
All right,
That's a show.
it
That's a
is.
show. It's just the Wayans family sitting around, and then like someone walks in and sits down and
Yeah,
immediately just starts getting destroyed.
it's the best time of the year for college hoops. Unfortunately, I don't think my former squad will be making it this year. Hopping on the Gator bandwagon this year. Go Gators! They are going to make a run. Regardless of who makes it to the final game in the tourney, one thing's for certain. It takes the most talented people working together to help these teams play at this level. And if you're hiring, you want the most talented people on your team to help your business go to the next level. How do you find them? ZipRecruiter, baby. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/BIG. ZipRecruiter is the hiring site employers prefer the most based on G2. How fast does ZipRecruiter's smart technology start showing your job qualified candidates? Immediately. Faster than those buzzer beaters we'll be witnessing. Pick ZipRecruiter to help you build a winning team. See why 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Just go to this exclusive web address right now. Try ZipRecruiter for free. ZipRecruiter.com/BIG. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/BIG. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
We wanted to do the Wayne's family roast, which would have been really
Yeah,
interesting.
100%.
Well,
Because I
let's
think the
do it,
roasts
man.
have just gotten mean. It's not there's when I think about the Dean Martin roasts and they was all done with love. They would go
Right.
hard. I one of the greatest roasts ever was the Richard Pryor roast.
Oh, yeah, that
Mm.
was
Oh
phenomenal.
I
my
need to watch
God,
that.
genius.
I
Yeah, I
did
feel
like
like everyone turned into Don Rickles in the last like
It's just
everyone took that style.
yeah. Well, when you watch the Richard Pryor, you see Robin Williams and Paul Mooney and what's her name? Oh God, it's right on my Marsha Warfield. Just all these comedians that love Richard went in, and he sat there, took it, and then he he gave it back, and it was brilliant.
So I take it you weren't a fan of the Tom Brady roast.
Um, I it was all right.
Nikki
You
Glazer
know,
went crazy to me.
yeah, they go
Nikki Glazer
crazy.
went hard. Yeah.
It gets too mean. It's like it's like when you start touching people's souls, it's like you crossing to me the boundaries of what's funny. You know what I mean? There's
Mm.
certain things, yeah, you can joke about, but then there's other things that, a person may not be the same after that one.
I know. Because when Nikki Glazer said a couple of things about Tom, I could tell he was not happy.
Yeah, yeah. It's
He
like
was sitting there like, okay. So our friends at the General want to know, who are your top 5 comedians of all time?
hands down Richard Pryor one, uh uh Bill Cosby, um George Carlin,
Oh,
um
that's a good one.
uh Sam Kinison, um who else? Oh, for sure, Chappelle.
Shaq, who else would you add to that list? I feel like you've been asking everybody their top 5. Who are the names you didn't hear there that are on your list?
So Mr. Damon brings up a great point. Soulful comedians and mean comedians. I like mean comedy. I like mean, disrespectful, black, and you know the words, two of the same
Mhm.
words, a comedy. That's what I like. But his list is very, very impressive. But I love Cat. I
Cat's
love
funny.
Mike.
Mike's
I
funny.
love this cat named Corey. I like this cat named
Holcomb,
Corey Holcomb.
hilarious.
Yeah, I
Disrespectful,
love Corey Holcomb.
funny.
Yeah.
Punching.
Oh, yeah, super
Very
disrespectful.
disrespectful.
I also like Dave. And I got my one time for scratching up my father's Richard Pryor record. But I was
That part.
laughing so hard. One day he went to work. Because they would always have me and my cousin Kinkin upstairs while they downstairs, smoking reefer and ooey ooey, and listen to music, listen to Richard Pryor. So one day I snuck the record and I was laughing and I wasn't paying attention to the time. And like he came in and I tried to like move it and slip it in the thing and I scratched the whole thing up. That was that. But that Richard Pryor. And you know what? Red Fox on that list too.
Red Fox. You know who else was
Yes.
great?
Mm.
Patrice O'Neill.
Really
You
what?
know who
I heard
Patrice
that.
O'Neill is?
Really,
Genius.
Shaq?
Tonight,
I
listen
knew
to
the
him.
name.
You thought he was your
Is he
brother.
related to us,
Bro,
Kenny?
he used
Patrice
to
O'Neill?
dude, he would get white women in the audience and he would just like change their brains. Like he
Just
would just challenge everything they
yes,
believed in and
yes,
win.
and black women. He just like
Yes.
he would go there, and I loved his process. He would just sit in the pocket and talk smack and funny. You couldn't budge him. You couldn't move him off his position, which is great.
This episode of the Big Podcast with Shaq is brought to you by The General. You know Shaq loves The General. Before the league, before the rings, before I got my big break, I've been rocking with The General. The General has been offering quality coverage for 60 years. You already know The General was there for Shaq when I needed him. Low rates and flexible payment options to keep you covered. If you're ready for your big break, you know what to do. Visit thegeneral.com to get a quote today. Again, visit thegeneral.com to get a quote today. And it wouldn't be the Big Podcast without The General.
Damon, you still a Lakers fan?
I love the Lakers. But I've always, my whole life, I've emotionally invested in people. I don't care what
Mm,
team you play on. When Shaq went to Miami, I loved Shaq. When he played wherever he went, Boston, I loved Shaq. Same thing with MJ. When he left and went to, I don't have no skin in the uniform. It's that,
gotcha.
did Michael look better in the Bulls uniform? Yes. But, I still loved him as a wizard and rooted for him. And it's like the Super Bowl that just passed, I sat there and watched it and just totally enjoyed it because either way, if Patrick Mahomes three-peat, I'd be happy. And then, Jalen Hurts winning, I'm happy. So I don't, when people like it ruins their week, because their team lost. It's like
Right.
I don't have those feelings.
So who's the player in the NBA right now that you go, oh, I'm rooting for that guy?
Of course, I love LeBron. I was in LeBron's first commercial. Um, I love LeBron, but I love John Morant. I love, Ant Edwards. I love, there's so many great players in the game that Victor Wembanyama, love him. I love his spirit. I can't say his name, but I love him.
Okay. Do me a favor.
Hmm.
He asked you the same question, but can Handyman answer the question for me?
Well, I can answer it if you ask me to.
Stop.
Wait, I gotta turn my ass to the side.
Stop. You're gonna get us in trouble. Stop.
Man, so you were a debut shoe for LeBron? That was the commercial you were in?
Yeah, these.
Wow.
Yeah, it was great. It was it was an honor. And again, it was like watching a big kid because all he couldn't wait to get back to the video game. Look
I
at
know,
this
right?
big man child running back. We cut. Okay, we're gonna learn. He's playing video games. All right, this, I guess. You don't want to
You
chop it
think
up? Okay, I guess.
you think about young LeBron now and the LeBron he is now where his kids playing in the NBA.
Amazing.
What is it? Yeah, what's that like for you to witness?
I
Because
love.
you've now seen the whole journey.
Yeah, I love it, and I'm experiencing it with my own son. I know what it's like. So LeBron. He's seen him out in that backyard. You know what I mean? He knows the work. He was there at the hospital when he's seen his son overcome some stuff that we haven't seen. We're not privy to it, but he believes in him. And I think that, having your son on the same team is it's amazing. The fact that he was able to stay in shape that long for that, you again, you need things to motivate you, and I'm sure that is part of the motivation because he got money. He can retire when he wants. He's got other opportunities to do all kinds of stuff, but you got to keep setting goals. And I'm sure Bryce is another goal.
Mm.
Make this happen. It's beautiful.
So what you think about the Luka trade when it happened? You think it puts the Lakers back on top?
I think they need some more pieces. I didn't think they should have got rid of Connect. I know he's back. It's like LeBron is special. It's like Luca is special. They need one more special piece because neither one of them really like to play defense. And if you see what happened with the Eagles this week, defense wins championships. That's in every sport. So,
Yep.
I'm rooting for him. I hope Luca get in the gym.
Yeah.
All right. Off the record question. Netflix offered you $50 million to shoot Handyman. Would you do it?
I'd do it for 20. Because the sequel, they're going to pay me 100.
I love it. We have an Ask
If
Dr.
you ever want to do
O'Neill.
it, I'm in, brother. Trust me. I'm in.
Shaq, we have an Ask Dr. O'Neill that based on the first question, the first line is going to be tough. This is Marvin L. from Baltimore, Maryland. Damon, you are now officially Dr. Damon Wayans. Shaquille already has the doctorate.
Love it. Want
Quote,
it.
I have been married for 3 years, and I just found out that my brother slept with my wife before we got married. I found out from my sister-in-law. When I asked my wife, she admitted it, but now I can't even look at her the same. What would you do if you were me, Dr. O'Neill?
Well, there's two different answers. One, I've seen this Tyler Perry movie before. One, I would be upset at both of them for not telling me earlier. So I would probably leave. But the other side of me would be like, okay, now I know. I asked her. She told me the truth. I'll be mad. Give me some time to wear things off. But my brother can't come to the parties no more. He done. I don't
That
want to see
part.
him for Christmas, for Thanksgiving. He can't. He can't ever come around again. But I think the fact that she was honest just saved their marriage. But the fact, like I would have liked to have known before before I paid for the goddamn ceremony and flew everybody in, and everybody in the stands who knew and I didn't know. They looking at me, laughing at me, and then what was the motive of the sister-in-law? Does she want the husband now? So like it's a whole bunch of Tyler Perry stuff going on in that. But that's happened to me before.
Damn. What do you think, Damon? What advice are you giving there?
You got to ask your heart. You got to ask your God. Because those are the only two things that matter at this point. It's like if you know the truth, you're already married. What are you gonna do? It's like I would
Yeah.
definitely. I would no. Me and my brother, we have problems. You know, we can work those out too. But that's a tough one.
Yeah, it is.
If you killed your brother, then the problem's over.
Yeah.
Some Cain Abel.
Yeah.
All right. Let's wrap it up, Shaq, with some white people, black people. Damon, I'm going to just name random things, and then we decide whether they're white people or black people.
Copy that.
Shaq, why don't you actually pick one? Name a candy, because I feel like you had a list the other day.
Okay. Snickers.
That's a black people thing.
Thank you.
You agree, Shaq?
Of course.
Okay.
What about Twizzlers?
White people thing. I mean, black people eat
White
it, but
people?
yeah, I give it to white people. You say pumpkin seeds, black people.
Yep.
All right. So this was one. This one Shaq said.
They're not even sweet.
What about red Doritos?
That's white people.
Yeah.
Blue Doritos.
Yeah, blue Doritos is black people.
Y'all talking about stuff I can't eat.
Oh yeah, that's right. Diabetes.
You're right.
Say stevia. That's white people stuff.
Yeah.
Wearing sunglasses to a nightclub.
Black
that's
people.
BPS.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest, I tried it at the party at Super Bowl, Shaq. It was great. Like, white people have been missing out.
Yeah.
No one can see my eyes. I thought people thought I was
the girls
blind.
Can't see you getting rejected.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was great. Oh, I'm so sad. What about talking about your high school glory days as an athlete? BPS or WPS?
Well, it's BPS.
Yeah.
Yeah, because white people know how to move on.
Oh, that's interesting. Letting a friend borrow money but bringing it up every time you see them.
Oh, that's BPS.
BP all the time, all day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got my money.
Yeah. I've lost so many friends.
Yeah. Who the you think you is? Ron O'Neal? I said I'll pay your monkey when I feel like it. What you gonna do, Damon? What you gonna do?
All I find I keep.
Yeah.
Asking who's at a party before going to the party.
BPS.
Yeah.
I think white people just go.
Yeah. You gotta just go.
We gotta make sure there ain't no ops there.
Exactly. And we gotta make sure that all the ladies are there too.
That part. No baby oil.
Yep.
I think that's what we're gonna have. Baby oil, BPS or WPS?
Oh, but BPS in the shower all day, every day.
Yeah. Dave Chappelle had the funniest take on BPS, on black baby oil. You said
that was incredible.
He's never gone through a bottle of baby oil.
No, it is true. No, it is true. All right, Mr. Damon, I love you, brother. If you ever need anything from me, if you want to talk about doing that special, brother, I'd love to be your partner in that.
All right,
you let me know, brother.
How do I get your number?
I'm going to give it to you right now.
All right.
And then, really quick, though, Papa's House. Just give everybody the information because I want to make sure everyone checks this out.
Papa's House is on CBS and Paramount Plus. CBS on Monday nights at 8:30.
Hell yeah.
And I know you got a lot. I know you got a lot of connections, but I got a lot of connections too. So us together, I'm sure somebody will say yes.
I would love to sit down and chop it up with you.
All right, brother. I'll be out there soon. All
All
right.
right. Mad love.
All right. Love you.